Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Garrick Songang, and today we're going to talk about what software is. So, what's software? Software is a set of programs and information a computer uses to operate. A software program is a set of instructions that tell a computer what to do. So, when you're programming, you're actually giving instructions to the computer to do something. If we look at this simple architecture, we can see there's a computer, there's a mobile device, and there's a server. All these are computers. That's right. Your mobile device is a computer, and the server is also a computer. There's a distinction between computer engineers and software engineers. Computer engineers work on designing the hardware and software architecture of a computer using skills in computer science and electrical engineering. Software engineers build applications that are going to work on these computers. If we take a look at this computer, for example, this could be your desktop or laptop computer at home. On your machine, there's something called an operating system, which is a special kind of software that manages your computer's hardware and software resources. The operating system also allows you to install and manage other applications on your machine. If you're using a Windows computer, you probably have a Windows operating system. If you're using a Mac, you probably have a Mac OS operating system, or you can also have a Linux-based operating system. There are two types of applications that you might access on your machine. There are desktop applications that are installed directly on your operating system, and there are web applications that you can access by going through a browser. So for the case of a Windows computer, you might have Microsoft Outlook, which is an email client that can be installed as a desktop application. But you might be able to go to someone else's computer and still access your email through a web client or a web application. Now, if we go into the mobile device, we mentioned earlier that the mobile device is also a computer. So it does have an operating system, which could be Android or iOS or a Linux-based operating system for your mobile device. And on top of this operating system, you have applications that might be native to your platform. And those are the applications that you can also install through an app store. If we go into the server is a computer with the sole purpose of serving information to users that are authorized to receive it. On our server, we can install backend applications that can authenticate users, authorize users, manage users, add business logic, store information to the database, retrieve client information to the database. And since our servers are computers, they can be Windows-based, Linux-based. For Windows-based computers or servers, you would be able to access them through the same interface you access your home computer. And for Linux-based computers, you typically have a terminal that you can use to install applications on the server, check the logs, and the sky is the limit. There are some misconceptions about software. I have friends who've taken one programming course that was complicated for them, and they decided programming is not for them. But once I showed them what they could do with software, they started seeing software differently. I've also had friends who've heard or seen data structures and algorithms and who decided software is not for them. As we're going to see, there's so much more you can do with software. So here are some of the software areas you might work on as a software engineer. There's mobile for mobile developers who work on mobile applications. There's front end or client side for those developers who work on applications that the users can see and interact with. There's backend or server-side development for those applications that work on the server and that the users might not necessarily interact with. And the backend developers typically work on the database as well. But on the database side, you might have SQL developers, but most importantly, you will have a database administrator who will manage your databases. These are the software areas we talked about: front end, mobile, back end, databases. Full stack developers are those developers that are familiar with both the front end and the back end development. And in some cases, they're also familiar with mobile development. There are other areas in information technology that deal with software on a daily basis, but that are not necessarily what software engineers do. Here we're talking about Linux development, DevOps, which is really development and operations, cloud. Cloud just means someone owns and manages the infrastructure that you use. We have DBAs that are database administrators we talked about earlier. Data science. An organization that has a lot of data can hire data scientists to analyze that data just to see how they can improve their processes, see how users use their systems, and also make more money. We also have DevSecOps, which is really DevOps with an accent on security. There's TechArch, technical architecture, networking, security. So these are a bunch of areas that are not necessarily for software engineers, but that deal with software on a daily basis. So this is it for today. There's going to be a part 2 for this video coming out soon. So if you like this content, please like the video, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.